Good day, everyone. My name is Joseph Bates. I am a student at Grand Canyon University, class of 2023. I am here to share my development plan, my HR development plan with you. All right, it's just an illustration. It's just want to discuss what makes a person the right fit. Being proactive when searching, training, and working towards organizational goals is a key element to experiencing success in my eyes. Acquiring, developing, training, and leveraging is something we'll be talking about throughout this presentation. So situational interview questions to evaluate and acquire new talent, introduce new employees to the rich culture, on-the-job training, or OJT, some may call it, where we make learning meaningful, performance appraisal, and growth opportunities to leverage and sustain. All right, so situational questions ask how they would act in a given situation. I think those questions pretty much bring out a rich just evaluation of how that employee will respond to certain situations. In terms of developing, the study says 80% of employees learn by interacting with their colleagues day to day. So that's a pretty nice number. That's a big percentage of employees that will learn through their colleagues. Help the employee understand the organization in a broad sense, the past, the history, the culture, strategies, and vision for the future. And another thing would be making sure employees' performance is aligned with the company's goals. Dessler 2016 discussed these in our text. The current systems that are in place, some of the pros and cons of the current systems. I like to start with the cons and end with the good. Limited training, you kind of dropped into your role without a lot of training at all. You kind of got to learn on the fly. Lack of communications, communications, it's not good. It's not placed to produce quality work. I put it like that. No one is supplied with a job description. That's a major complaint right now. People don't know what they're evaluated on, what they're supposed to be doing. It's kind of like self-driven by the supervisors. They kind of put together their own little list of duties. Chain of command driven. It's frowned upon to talk to anyone above your supervisor or even around them. Kind of feels a little tense with that around these days. And lack of resources. If one person doesn't know, it's kind of hard to get answers for an organization. Some pros that we have: employee time off, school setting year round. It's a lot of breaks, intercessions, Christmas break, Thanksgiving breaks, just long breaks throughout the year, minimum days, things like that. Educational reimbursement. Get up to $10,000 for advanced degrees. So it's a good deal. Company events. Recently had a Jaguars event for a playoff game, Christmas events, different things, different employee socials that are offered quarterly, I would say. Flexibility. Certain days we get home early. If it's been a tough week, some days we'll take off a little early on Fridays. Room for growth. That can be a pro or a con because of the retention is not good. So there's always an opening to grow if you kind of hang in there with us. Strength-based. So trying to take the employees that we have, some of the strengths that we have. I think holistically, employees want to help the less fortunate. So that's one common thing one common trait that can be looked at as a strength if we can develop that. Okay, so current employees have the passion, but no training or feedback practices currently. So that's one thing that we want to develop through the appraisal process. So we're looking into that. So we'll have employees, we'll have access to managers who will guide them through an evaluation system that will produce champions across the work field. The company will focus on current employee strengths by reassessing the talent and training them towards their strengths. It's an illustration to kind of, talk about or look at human resources and how it's viewed throughout the nation. So certain things that, when you think about human resources, some of the words that come to mind. I like to look at the solution one I see to the right, benefits. You see people is in there, it's focusing on those type of things. Human resources integrated is something that I got kind of creative with. We're calling it experience maker. Somebody that could pretty much hold your hand from the day you walk into the organization all the way through retirement, promotions, HR, payroll, and things like that. So the current human resources position at Horizon is a mystery. No one knows who to reach out to. Oftentimes we experience being ignored. It's hard to get in contact through email or phone. So we want to definitely change that outlook on human resources with Horizon. The updated human resources person, like I said, will be named the experience maker. This role will handle outreach, applications, interviews, background screenings, payroll, scheduling, and other onboarding practices for the most part. Developing and training will also be part of that department to make sure that we get some quality sessions going with that. Horizon experience makers will make employees feel at ease. That's pretty much the most pivotal part of that role. Success. I like this illustration because it's starting kind of, if you see on that S, it's a really small S. You can step onto that S, but you have to grow to that final S at the end. Success. You got to work hard. You got to get there. You got to keep climbing through all of the adversities that you may see. So I really enjoyed it. Chase it. You see success, chase it. Current leadership recommendations. So we're talking about Title 7. Emphasis on just avoiding discriminatory items. So Title 7 emphasized in the hiring practices. Title 7, we're talking about that in trainings. And we also want to emphasize in promotional opportunities the Title 7 discrimination, anti-discriminatory things that happen in the workplace. We want to make sure that we're aware and we're avoiding all of those by any means necessary. So definitely want to take affirmative action if needs to. If we need to take place, if we need affirmative action to take place if we find any discriminatory items within our workplace. Application of knowledge. So last but not least, we want to do this and we wanted to repeat. We want to go over this. We want to make sure these things are being implemented. So elements of my recipe, something I put together is an experience maker. So making sure the human resources process is smooth, making sure they are equipped with everything they need to give everyone the experience that they're looking for. We need the coach, somebody that's training, developing. We want that to be the culture. Everyone is coaching, from lower level staff to executives. Everyone's coaching constantly. On top of that, we want everyone mentoring constantly. We want everybody to become that coach mentor that Dessler in 2016, or the text that we have spoke about so often, is being that coach mentor. So we want them to be that mentor as well with guiding and motivation. So, and then that last but not least, the Mr. Benefits. I want people to kind of look at our organization as the benefit, the incentive. Having extra funding for our employees to be able to, supply their families with 100% health coverage, a family of 5 or less. So just things like that, different incentives that we can motivate and put our employees at ease. Outside of that, though, I appreciate your time, and hopefully we can take a lot from this training. All right.